Scrap. Yes, it's whack. It's whack. It's whack. Because I always had mixed emotions around Far From Home. Because when I left the cinema to watch it the first time, I was like, okay, it's pretty good, but it's not. I don't know. I'm confused. But I never rushed to watch it again. You know. Watching it again now, Spider-Man Far From Home is crap. It's crap. And why is it crap? Because it relies too much on the MCU and it assumes you give a crap about the MCU because this is pretty much Iron Man's lap boy. It's Iron Man's lapdog. And there is so much surrounding Spider Man being the next Iron Man. Spider Man is arguably the most popular character in history. I don't care what Iron Man has done in the movies. Iron Man is a class tier D character. We're dealing with one of the greatest characters of all time in Spider Man, and he's Iron Man's lapdog. Keeping it a stack, he's real. Because as I'm watching this, I'm like, I'm not really laughing at some of the jokes are funny. I'm not laughing at all of the jokes. Um, and this film, it has no personality. It has nothing unique to itself. It feels like an episode of the MCU. It doesn't feel like a film that stands on its own because everything that surrounds it is about. First of all, it starts off with the obituary to Tony Stark, where I'm like, are you being serious? Are you being comedic? And the whole film is about can you live up to Iron Man? I'm always in Iron Man's shadow. Will I be able to be as good as Iron Man was? Look at the kind of legacy that Iron Man has now left behind. Even when he has those freaking shades, he gives it to someone else because he feels that, oh, everything relates back to Tony Stark and Iron Man. And because this obviously came after um, the, what was it? Basically after Endgame. Because it came after Endgame, it feels as if, oh no, we have to relate it to Endgame. I was like, wait, guys, wait a minute. This is Spider Man. This is just some tier three. Do that with Black Widow. Do that with freaking Hawkeye. Fair enough. Make that episode. This is Spider Man. So you're saying that in order to make a good Spider Man film, you've got to attach it to your MCU. Because see, here's the thing. Great films stand the test of time. Standalone films stand the test of time. 10, 15, 20 years from now, if you just shove in Spider-Man Far From Home and you're watching it, you're like, because see, that's the key thing. You see, when I watched it initially, it was obviously just a few months after Endgame came out. So it was like, yes, the Endgame events. But I'm not seeing Endgame in ages. So I'm watching this like years afterwards. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, this doesn't feel like a film. So because I don't have the emotions from just watching Endgame, this just feels like, wait, what is this? Because I told you, I pressed stop just as he's about to fight Mysterio, and also on that whole thing as well. Jake Gyllenhaal, a quality actor, should have been Batman. He should have been Batman. Quality actor, wasted. His character's garbage. How do you have someone like Jake Gyllenhaal and you don't make him like a true villain? Don't make him a true antagonist because, and also as well, his character is related to Tony Stark. He's everything. The motivation of his character is all related to Tony Stark. You see, at least in Homecoming, um, Michael Keaton's character Vulture, he's a dude of his own, and that felt more of an antagonist than this. Nah, it's whack. It's whack. It's whack. It's crap. It's crap. You know, it's not. No, it's just it's not a good film. It's not a good. It's it's. I can't even call it a film. It's just an episode. It's an episode of the MCU. It's another MCU entry. So the sad thing, guys, is we are here to see a Spider-Man film. And guys, I'll say it. If you take everything into account, Spider-Man might actually be the most famous character of all time. He's got the coolest costume, great origin, probably the best powers. You could argue that he's probably everything into account the greatest and the best superhero of all time. You know, look, I'm even look at his face right now on the screen. So how do you have a character that is so iconic and the Butchman this? Because let's keep it real. The best we've seen of Spider-Man, the best we've seen of Spider-Man was Civil War. That's it. But the best representation of Spider-Man on film was in Civil War. In all the films and so forth, we've not had that. But sorry, far from home, watching it again, nah. Relies too much on MCU, relies too much on Tony Stark, and as a film, as a standalone film, does not cut the mustard, man. Tell me what you think, man. Comment below. Tell me your thoughts, man. Like, subscribe, one love.